I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Theory Tuition series where I'm working with you step by step through each of the ABRSM Theory grades. There are lots of resources available to help you on my website. If you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find some free PDF information sheets which you can download in US Letter or A4, and they accompany each step of this series. You'll find a page there with links to all of my YouTube video tutorials, and you can also find out about the books that I have available. I've written an exam technique guide, how to take your ABRSM Music Theory Exam. It's full of tips and hints on how to best be prepared for your exam, and also how to make the best use of your time come exam day. So if you go to sharonbill.com, you'll find it all there. If you can give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to my channel and share out the videos. And now we're going to continue with the paper C of the Grade 1 2019 practice papers. So if you turn with me to page 12, we'll continue with the questions. So now we're on question 3. So in question 3, we have a couple of sections to answer. The first section is to name the degrees of the scale within this piece of music here. We're in the key of D major, so D is the first degree of the scale, and we're counting where the other notes fit into the scale pattern. And so if you want to just step out the notes of the scale, just as a double check, of course you'll have a key signature of F sharps and C sharps, but we don't need to put that there. Your key signature will deal with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's our whole octave range. And so we can see that D is the first. So then we're counting here D, E, F, 1, 2, 3. Don't forget we're in the treble clef, and you can see that F, or F sharp as it were, is the third degree of the scale. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's F A. Remember the space is spelled face, F-A-C-E, and you can see that 5 is indeed the 5th degree of the scale, so we've just double checked that there. So if this is the 5th, if A is the 5th, the next note up, you can see we've gone up from the space to the next line up. That must be a 6th, and we can see that B is a 6th. And if we count from the D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the space, 6 is the line. So there's our 6th. And then we're stepping up again. If that's the 6th, this must be the 7th. So let's count from the D, the space, 1, 2 is the line, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is an F-A-C. We can see that's the 7th. Of course it's a C sharp because your key signature sorts that out. And then finally we've gone one step more, and we've gone all the way up to the 8th, or the octave. One step up, but let's double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You could say octave or eighths. There we go. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 takes us to a G. That's correct. Very good. That's the 4th. And we can see if that was the 3rd, the space was the 3rd, one step up must be the 4th. So here, counting from D, we have a D to an E, 1, 2, and we can see it's one step below the 3rd that we've just worked out, and indeed E is the 2nd degree of the scale. So that's correct. And then look where we are, right back where we've started. They've even given us that. So we can say first it's the D, or we could say octave because it's still the tonic, or we could say 8th. So there we go. Now just honing in a little bit closer, we're asked how many semiquavers the last note of the melody is worth. And so I just find this easier to diagram out. Just to save space, I'm just going to diagram out a crotchet, a quarter note, and then I shall multiply it. So crotchet, one beat, divides into 2 quavers, 2 eighth notes, which divides again into 4 semiquavers, 4 16th notes. So that's one beat, and so as much again, we have 4 semiquavers here, so 4 times 2, because a minim is worth 2 of these, equals 8. There we go. You could just do it the maths way. These are a quarter of a beat each. 4 quarters make 1, 8 quarters make 2 beats. And so let's press on to the next question. So now we have some questions about scales. And so the first job is to make sure that you do know your key signatures, so you know all the sharps and flats involved in the degrees of the scale. However, there are other clues to help you. Our first job is to name the key, and then we're going to draw the bracket over the notes, which are semitones. Now, this must begin and end on the tonic, so this gives us the key. We're in the treble clef, and the space is spelled face, F-A-C, so we know it's got to be C, and it ends on middle C. It's C major, and we can confirm that because there are no flats or sharps, which we know C major has no flats or sharps. And then if you just remember from your grade 1 workbook, the notes 3 to 4 and 7 to 8, it's easiest to see in C major, are the semitones where there's absolutely nothing in between with right next door notes. And then because we're going backwards, instead of 3 to 4, 7 to 8, we've got to reverse that, so it's 8 to 7, 4 to 3. They are the steps of the scale, which are the semitones. So we can use this to help us in the next two if we just feel like we've got a little bit stuck. So now we're in the bass clef. Again, we must begin and end on the tonic. In the bass clef, this note is good boys deserve football. And so if this is G, one below G is F, so we're beginning and ending on F. And we know that F major has a key signature, or applied as an accidental, a B flat, so that confirms what we've just worked out. We're in the key of F major, and we know that 3 to 4, 7 to 8 are the degrees of the scale, which are a semitone. And if you want to just visualize that, 1, 2, 3 to 4, A to B flat, that's why we have the flat, and the E to F, 7 to 8. Are the degrees of the scale, but really you can just count up the scale: 1, 2, 3 to 4, 5, 6, 7 to 8. Let's look at this last one. And so we're in the treble clef again, and we're beginning and ending on the tonic. Every good, it's a G, and we know it's every good boy deserves football. F is the top line, G is the next door note. We're in G major, and we know that's true because G major has a key signature of F sharps. So G major. And so now we've just got to add the bracket over to show the semitones, and we've already got that here. So we can just see first two notes, 8 to 7, 6, 5, 4 to 3, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4 to 3. There we go. That's completed. So continuing in the topic of key signatures, we have some tonic triads to look at. And so our first job is to add the correct clef to each of these tonic triads. So for this to be F major, our lowest note, our tonic, must be an F. And so this must be treble clef because the space is spelled face, F-A-C-E. So we know it must be the treble clef. If we wrote this in the bass clef, that would be an A, and that would therefore be incorrect. So here we need to make sure this is properly D major with D as the tonic. So the bass clef gives us that because the bass clef notes good boys deserve makes that make sense. And then that will help us with the second part where we have to write the letter names of each note of the triad. So we know the first note is F for this to be an F major tonic triad, and then we can just work it out because we know the treble clef notes are F, A, C. Or if you weren't sure, you know that it's the first, the third, the fifth, F and count it up in step F, G, A, B, C, because we know we must be starting on F. And so here, the first note for D major tonic triad has to be D, and then we have D, E, F, not quite the full story yet, but just hang on. D, E, F, G, A, or you can think good boys deserve football always. However, we have a key signature of F sharps and C sharps, and so it isn't F, it must be F sharp. And that's that question completed. We'll look at the next question in the next video. I do hope this is helpful to you. I hope it's helping you to get to grips with your studies and you're enjoying it. I'm certainly enjoying working through it with you. If you can give me a like, that would be really super, and please do subscribe to my channel to keep updated. And please do visit sharonbill.com and have a browse around all the resource and information that's available to help you there. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.